real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it. One of the weirdest shits that I read, especially a lot on like comments or whatever, is people were saying that I was the one that like did this to Nick because I like talk about like Tinder dates and shit, and we had a show together, and I was like, "You sons of bitches,
dude!" They're doing that to everybody. Camelot, they're blaming all of Nick's friends. I've received blame for this. Everybody who's on Nick's side who doesn't persecute him over this is to blame in some way for Nick's behavior. To me, like Nick just like ghosted everybody. Like about a few months back, like Nick just disappeared. And he used to be on all of our streams, or we were invited on his streams. He wasn't answering people's messages to him. And I sent him a few, like, "Are you okay? Like, where are you? I want you to be my guest." And he wouldn't answer, or he'd answer very briefly and stuff like that. Like Anna wasn't able to get a hold of him. Cecil wasn't able to get a hold of him. It was really strange. And I don't know what happened there. I don't know what switch got flipped there, but yeah, he'd be just, and then the next time I saw him, I tuned into him. He looked, in my opinion, he looked like somebody who had a habit. He lost a lot of weight. His eyes were sunken in. Everybody knows this. He looked gaunt. He looked sick. And we were just kind of, like, his friends were kind of talking like, is Nick okay? Does like if I got sick, if I really had a disease, I might disappear for a while. You know what I mean? That might be something that I don't know how I would cope with getting cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
But those were some of the theories that we were thinking. None of us thought this. Like not initially. None of us thought this, because I guess we're naive and we like Nick a lot. We were worried that he had cancer, and he just didn't want to tell us. So finally, he did started talking. He let me on the stream. I forced him to eat a pie. So stupid, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it was wild. It was the ghosting started probably in October last year, I think. November.
Yeah.
That's it was right around the time that the April girl got involved, and then the cocaine use got real bad. And that's when I didn't really hear from him for a while. So I'd check in every now and then. But yeah, it got pretty bad for a while there. It got really bad. It never really got better until just now. And we don't even know if it's going to get better. I mean, I don't know if you know anything about this, Tug, but is like to do any program, you have to pass like certain drug tests and whatnot. So, I mean, he would have to keep to something like that. And could he keep to something like that after being, 24/7 for so long?
He needs I realize there's probably legal ramifications for doing specific things, but no, he needs rehab. I mean, honestly, he needs rehab.
Yeah, and I think once he goes through that program, it's going to be like waking up for the first time for him. He's going to be like, "Holy shit, I can't believe I went through all that and did this." Because like I said, he's a smart dude, and that's just how I see it. Jeff says, but to get slam pieces, you were recommending Interstellar, not Nose Candy. Yeah, that's all you need. You don't need to know cocaine, man, and you don't need to pay him, bro. God, just turn on Interstellar and their panties come off. It's weird. Thank you, Jefferson. Commodore says Washington State made drugs legal, and it was a nightmare for law enforcement. They had to reverse the laws. Well, maybe it's there's only a very small amount of case studies for that. Das Pooch. Based on post-release comments, neither Nick nor April have hit rock bottom lucidity yet. Still delusional. Anything could happen before August court date. Yeah.
What do you mean April? Why is April in this? Neither Nick nor April. April's free to go.
Yeah, she doesn't. I think they meant Kayla, but April got all her charges dropped.
April made a comment. The charges or the case, obviously there's no court date for her, but she did make a comment. She was like, "I'm not an addict," someone else,
Who do you think she meant by someone else did this to me? Who was the someone else she was referring to?
I don't know. That's what I wonder. I was like, oh man, I mean, is she gonna Is she gonna
roll? Yeah, because I think I got to be honest. From when I look at this April girl, and I see streams of this April girl from back in the day, I feel like she gonna throw everybody on the bus immediately. I don't know. I just get that weird ass vibe that she will fuck everybody over, and I don't have any reason for believing that. I just something about her body language and her face. I'm like, oh, dude, she gonna definitely fuck everybody over.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I don't think she needs to. I don't think she needs to quote unquote turn state's evidence because they got nothing on her. Right. She wasn't, it's like those weren't her drugs, they weren't her guns or anything like that. She was just visiting the house. Like, what exactly am I being held for? Nothing. You can go. So I don't think it was a matter of having to make a plea deal or anything like that. I don't think she needs to testify, or anything. Well, she's going to probably have to testify, but I don't think she needs to make a deal to protect herself. So I don't think that's going to be a thing.
Somebody in chat said she's going to blame Aaron. I'm like, no, she's not. She doesn't profit off of blaming Aaron. I mean, maybe she will to some degree, but to cut any deal, she's not going to be blaming Aaron. He's not facing any charges. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I could see her doing something crazy. Slagless says this is going to spiral more. Get ready for porn tape leak. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Let's do that. No, that's a joke.
no.
Nick's OnlyFans arc is coming. Helena, the mods here are super protective. Nick was part of the family. Please don't be cruel. This is a sad situation. No, I completely agree. Helena. Nick is a great friend, and he's been a great friend for a long time. And that's what I've been saying since the beginning. I believe he has a good heart, and I believe he can come back from this. And I believe he's just, he's in a bad place right now, and unfortunately is facing some fucked up consequences as a result.
Well, people joke about it. I mean, what are we supposed to fucking do in this? I was, one thing I'll say, EBS, like I was very impressed by everyone. There were talks about intervention, man. What's going to go on? And all the like, there are people that hate each other that were like, "Go, I'm going to get together. We will all do this. We'll do it together. We'll show that guy." Man, I was very impressed.
Yeah, but looking back now, that intervention would have gone over like a lead balloon. Yeah. He was not ready to hear that. He would have laughed at us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were all in a little chat about that on fucking. Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, I was ready to fly, bro. I was talking to Drex. I'm like, do I need to fly out there tomorrow? And he was like, let me let you know tomorrow, because he's like, I'm going to his house. And then fucking lo and behold, literally 12 hours later, he got arrested. So I was like, well, never mind. So yeah, that was wild. Absolutely wild. I couldn't believe it. But the issue is if you don't talk about it, people are going to say you're enabling Nick. And if you do talk about it, people are going to say you're a terrible friend, or you're enabling Nick, or vice versa. Like, there's really no, like, because that's what I was thinking about it this morning. If you don't talk about it, if you do talk about it, there's going to be somebody saying, well, you're a bad person for doing any of these things. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'll give my take on it. But everybody thought it was Aaron that turned him in. And I'm like, well, it's obvious. It's already in the report, man. It's in the report. It was the pastor, right? So.
Yeah, but who told the pastor?
Well, I'm thinking it was a kid, like a child, right? I mean, I could. There's never in a situation where I could see Nick would tell somebody about that.
You don't think an adult might have told a pastor?
Maybe, yeah. Well, maybe, yeah. You're right. I didn't think about that. Like another adult that maybe kind of.
You think one of Nick's kids complained? I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe not. They probably wouldn't even know.
I think an adult did it. Personally.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious what went on. People can argue, but I think it's going to turn out that I'm right. So.
Yeah. That makes sense.
People have motives for things. And, I see Art, the clown in the chat. Like, you don't know, Ethan, you don't practice law. What I'm saying is this. I don't practice law. I'm just saying that April has no motivation. They don't have anything on her to say, you need to turn on these people. They don't have... everything that they can accuse her of, she can explain. Well, the card had cocaine. Well, it wasn't I didn't use it. I lent it. There's a million different ways to kind of talk your way out of all of this stuff. She's not motivated to turn over. I mean, she could do it out of vengeance. She could do it out of bad feeling. She could do it out of stupidity, but she doesn't have to. And I don't think she will.
Who, the April girl?
Yeah. I don't think she will.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Go
one
ahead.
of the worst. I was going to say one of the worst things I've seen is people go in after the pastor's name came out. And
I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, people. I mean, they weren't just talking about this guy's bad. I mean, there's been some horrible conversations about that, and it's like that is not the right way. That is not the right way at all. The person, he went in again. He was concerned. He asked for a wellness check. That's what you're asking for. You're not asking for somebody to have their door battered down. You're just asking for somebody to go in and make sure that the kids are safe. Like that's not unreasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Meredith says Mark Gruber was saying on stream with Barnes interventions won't work. The best thing would be to challenge Nick to 90 meetings in 90 days. Meredith, thank you. Appreciate you. Like AA meetings? Is that what you're talking about? Do they cover cocaine in AA meetings? I mean, I guess you could. It kind of applies to everything, I feel like.
NA.
Yeah. That makes sense.
White knuckle sobriety. Without any kind of help, you're talking 10%. That's about how the effective rate is. 10%. So.
Oh, yeah. Somebody in the chat brings up a great point. Kiki says they wouldn't want her to turn on Nick. They'd want her to turn on whoever sold to her and Nick.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm just saying there were no, they don't have anything to hold her on. I understand she was arrested, but for what? I was in this house with these people. That's it. They have to let her go. There are no charges.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I know I'm not an internet lawyer, but, it's pretty clear.
I mean, me neither. I'm the furthest thing from an internet lawyer. I didn't even graduate high school. But yeah, no. And it doesn't matter if she, if everybody knew that she lived there or something, it doesn't matter because evidence doesn't point to that at all. There's no hard evidence of that.
There were drugs. She could say they weren't hers. The gun wasn't hers. I mean, that's the main charge. The kids, the gun, the drugs together equals what we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a visitor, you're a guest in the house, you're suddenly responsible for that?
Yeah, that would suck. That's like being in a car and somebody gets pulled over and you're just like riding in their car and then you get to go to jail. Or an Uber driver. What if you got an Uber and they pulled over an Uber and searched the car and there was cocaine and then they charged you with it? That would be crazy. So yeah, I get that. Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate you. Says, watch what you say. You might be called a witness. Shit, I don't know nothing. Thank you, Gigi. Maps go on the wall. There are texts where she states that she lives there. They did not have to let her go. Is there really? I didn't know that. Do you know anything about that, Tug?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. Other than where would she go after she left Aaron's house or whatever? They probably have parents close by though. I don't really know. So, Nick doing a stream tonight? Sean says, I have no idea. Sean.
I hope not.
Yeah, I would just not stream. If I was Nick, I would turn off my phone, or I would log out of my social media apps on my phone and turn my PC off, and then fucking exercise, relax, get legal counsel, hang out with my family. That's what I'd do. Thank you, Billy. And I would throw all the whiskey away. It's gonna suck for 3 weeks though. It's gonna be real bad, but fuck it.
Some people are like, the mandatory reporter got him in trouble. Tug, it's mandatory. It's not like optional reporter. People come to you. It's the same thing in therapy. There are instances where I am obligated to contact the police. If I don't, first of all, there could be consequences for me. But on top of that, if I'm looking at the safety of a kid, I'm not thinking about the consequence. Well, maybe I should or shouldn't. You get into that again. You're mandatory. You're obligated to do that. So it's not oh man, could he or couldn't he? He's supposed to. So.
Yeah. Ben says it's not mandatory to involve the state if you didn't see him doing drugs. I don't know. Like I said, not a lawyer. And I'm definitely not a Minnesota lawyer. That's for damn sure.
Pretty soon, neither will Nick be.
Well, yeah, that's probably gonna. I don't think you can really.
They're not going to take his license away from him, are they? I mean, what do you think? Tog, do you know?
Probably not. No, that's what the lawyers have been talking about. No.
Really, that's wild. Damn. Well, maybe I guess it's not very easy to lose your license then.
I mean, they have all first time offender. They have all kinds of diversionary programs. And I would rather they go with that too, because again, is it better to get the man clean? Is it better for his kids, or is it better to throw him in jail? Well, obviously, keep the father with the family, but make sure that he is in a place where he can provide them the best support.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's probably the best route. Yeah. Somebody said his license could be suspended, but he probably won't lose it. Okay, well, good. Good Logic stated he faces a likely suspension, not disbarment. Interesting. Phantasmagorical, fuck it, says that April was texting Ethan Ralph. I don't know about that. Why would anybody text Ethan Ralph? Hey, Ethan, how you doing? By the way, here's all this insider info. Like, what? Ethan? Ralph? Come on. No one ain't going to text on Ethan Ralph first.